All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Yardy Links. And today we have a very interesting topic, as well as I have a good friend of ours. His name is Ryan. In the bottom left, another Ryan.
Ryan 3.
Ryan number 3.
Yeah, not number 2. We might deal with number 2.
No.
All right, so Ryan will be joining us on this interesting topic. I think this topic, we should actually breathe a word of prayer over this topic, because this topic is going to be hot, right? I mean, it probably will be as hot as last week's topic, because last week's topic we touched on, certain things regarding what's happening in the country and the Prime Minister. But today's topic, what we're looking at is the education system, right? And we want to discuss whether or not the higher education, or we could say tertiary education, if it's really relevant in today's era, right? And so before we get into the debate and discussion, I just want to know the viewpoint of everyone, right? What is your take? Ryan, let's start from Ryan, the top left. Ryan, what do you think about higher education? I think it makes sense or not?
Boy, in a this day and age, probably 20 years ago, back then when our parents go to school or whatever, yeah, and then before. But no, I don't think it makes sense for some profession, for the most part, because other things you can go online and research and get information to actually equip you to actually function on the job. And I believe that for personally for me, I believe that a lot of the students that are going to school are just getting the read and the writing and the essay and the assignment. It's not important as to when, or as when you're on the job. When you're on the job, it's a whole different ball game. You understand? And I believe that internship, that's why I like internship. Those actually career goals allow you to go on internship to actually put you in the field so you can get some exposure to the type of job or career field you're going into is good. But I believe that we should be aware with some of these educational, these in class thing and whatever. Put you out there in the field and make you actually get a feel of what it is like instead of being in a classroom all the time. That's my
All right, that's your take. All right. I have a lot to say about that, but I want everybody to take first, right? Our guest, Ryan number 3, Mr. Silvera. What's your take on this thing?
We're going to call you silly.
Silly, yeah, man. You can't work with silly, man. Yeah, man. No,
right.
Silly Wonka.
all right, silly Wonka.
So still state your profession as well as tell us your opinion.
All right, so hello, I'm a Caribbean maritime graduate. I'm currently a maritime engineer. So yeah, I work on board. Right now, I do more jobs on the DoD side. I live in the United States. I'm a subcontractor for the U.S. Department of Defense. Right.
Okay.
So
DoD. What is DoD?
Department of Defense.
Okay. Sorry. All right. So tell us what is your opinion on this?
All right. So I will agree to what Ryan said initially. However, it is a matter of where is it that you fall on the spectrum. In the STEM field, everybody know, science, technology, engineering, mathematics. Tertiary education is of utmost importance. When you don't have it, you come in, you lack so much. You're behind everybody. And I can only teach you so much and so much only. The fundamentals of what is it that you should know and things that I'm going to give you are the knowledge I'm going to pass on to you to allow you to grow, to become a part of the engineering team. I can't teach you until I have taught you the fundamentals of those things, which hinder the growth over a period of time. So when a new person come in, for example, as Ryan said initially, when you have an intern coming in with limited background information, for example, I have 2 personnels right now training, and they have no science nor engineering background. The highest level of education they have is secondary, right? It's
Difficult.
it's quite
Difficult.
difficult in teaching them, you know. So I have to go back to the fundamentals, and each day I have to go through like classes with them, like ask them about stress analysis, let them go home, let them study that. So when they come back and I tell them, hey, you need to torque this bolt at X amount of torque, they don't look at me and like, why is it that I need to do that? They know why. And that's a big thing in the STEM field, knowing why, not when, where, or how, but why.
All right, hold that thought. All right, because I have another question there, so I can't wait to get ask my questions. You know. Fabian, what is your opinion on it? So Ryan is saying it's important for his field, right? What's your opinion on it, Fabian?
Well, as Ryan says, important
Which Ryan
for
though?
his
Which Ryan?
field.
Which Ryan?
One name Silly and one name Ryan. What's wrong with you, man?
All right.
Sure. So it is important in your field, which only brings to the point that it depends on what field you're going into. As Celia also mentioned, if it's a STEM field and education, well, let me not say education because education overall is important. It's tertiary education. Does it really matter? No, it depends is my answer. It depends on what field you're going into, and it depends on where you go for this training or this for learning whatever field you're into. So that's my answer really.
It depends. Okay.
Can I add to the STEM thing to Rory? Just add a little thing that inject something right there. You see the STEM thing that Silis mentioned. It's being introduced in schools now, and when I say schools, I'm talking about middle school and high school. So my middle school now has actually we're gonna start the STEM program, all right? And I am seeing the importance of it because we are giving them, the kids, a feel of what to expect when they actually go into in the field of work. And so a lot of my objectives are geared towards the field of work out there in the working world. And so this is why I'm saying that if we start give them that from middle school, high school, there's no need for tertiary education. You understand? If we inject it from down there, so you don't have to bother with it. It's all about a money making thing for me. So tertiary education is money making thing and class and deadline. All them something that makes no sense to me.
All right, hold on. Before I ask Leon his opinion, people put it in the comment because I want to read the comments.
So Arlene say it makes no sense.
Arlene
Bunch
said
of
it makes
swatting.
no sense.
Invention of
Swatting.
swatting. A true.
No, guys, hold on. We're not ready yet.
Listen
Hold
up,
on, man.
listen up.
Hold on.
Listen up.
The show just start. On the station, man. Leon, let me hear your opinion, Leon.
I have mixed feelings about the whole thing. I just think that it depends on the specific job that people are going for or so. And Silly mentioned about persons like coming to his era without the basics. I think that should be fine. I think that should be fine. And I think as being one of the mentors on the job, that is the era that people should go and learn and not necessarily go and sit in a classroom and study all of those things. It is possible that they could learn all of this on the job and they will be more effective because they are doing it. If he tells them one day and then say, go and read that bit, and then they come back and then now they know why, and then they move on. So through the training process, that is a lot better than sitting in a classroom for 3 years and wasting a lot of money and brain cells and time. Well, the only thing I think is important about tertiary education is the hidden curriculum. The things that you learn, like time management, communication, how to investigate and stuff. But those are still things that you can learn on the job. So I think, but on the other side, I love it. And I think that people get into that level and learning. Not everybody is good at learning on the job. You have a lot of persons about them good at the theory, and you're gonna need those persons to be around to continue to pass that knowledge on. So I have mixed feelings about the whole thing. But if I should choose one, I would say learn on the job rather than go to university.
Well, learn on the job is wasting resources and money, though. I just want to say that, right?
Sir, not necessarily. It depends on how it is structured.
Necessarily.
Yes, it is. It's right.
How are you wasting money? How are you wasting money if you're hiring someone who is at a
lower level?
At a
And
lower
you're not
level.
paying them as
You're
much,
basically
but
saving
they
money
spend the
because
time.
you're nurturing that mind to how
I'm
you
not talking.
want them
I'm
to
not
be
talking about
nurtured.
salary. I'm talking about being productive as a company, right?
All right. So,
You-
all right. For example, currently, right now, we're on a deadline, right? We're supposed to be completed by the end of next month. And we had one new personnel join us because of lack of manpower. Lack of manpower coming from in the maritime industry. There's a lot of aged personnels there. During COVID, quite a few died, and quite a few retired thereafter, and quite a few come up to retirement age. Each year they're retiring, and we're not getting the type of talent in the field that we had wanted in the past. So we never took them on then, right?
so you pretty much settle. And the settle with,
Right. Now we are pretty much settling. We take every and anything. And I'm saying that when you take those people that lack that level of education, taking them on and me having to train them on the job, or my superintendent having to take them one side to show them things, it's killing us. And another aspect of it as well is complacency. When you have the older guys there, they're not trained. Quite a few of them here in Americas. People don't believe in higher education. So most people that we have working with us, they are just learn on the job, as you stated. When you learn something on the job, sometimes, most times, not sometimes, most times, you're not pushed to learn more than you have. So when the time comes, like these new personnel coming in, you can only teach them what is it that you have learned, and what is it that you have
Makes
learned
sense.
is not the
Makes sense.
fundamental. So you
Makes
only
sense.
can teach them how, when, that's all, which is written in a book.
Well, like I said, let me say something. Let me state my opinion. By the way, I think higher education is foolishness for most professions. That's my opinion still, right? They can't kill me afterwards. And let me just add to that. You see, even the medical field, right? When I speak to a lot of my friends who are doctors, they will tell you that they learn the most, or they learn almost everything when they are doing their intern at a particular hospital that they assign them to. Not even so much a theory. Because when I think about it, right? How many doctors out there will not check them background?
Let me see a GPA.
Let me see a GPA. How much?
Yeah, man.
Because
But GPA now have nothing to do with you as a medical profession per se.
exactly.
That is the thing. You go study and get your GPA, your 4.1, and it nothing to do with you.
when you look at it, though, silly, right? At the end of the day, a lot of these doctors, even some of them good ones, barely go through college. Well, which is kind of frightening. Hello, people in the comments. Let me tell you something, people.
That's scripture.
Next time I go to the doctor, say, Doc, let me see how much I get in a school. Where GPA?
My GPA was over 3.0.
No, not you.
Not you, silly. Not you, silly.
Oh, okay.
Not
Man,
about
be
the
a silly,
doctor.
we're silly, you know, man. I tell you.
Listen, the doctor, but I'm just digressing, but I was saying the doctor, next time when you go to the doctor, if the doctor get 50% on the exam, you know, that means they know 50% of the stuff and 50% didn't get wrong. So maybe the 50% when get wrong was about you and your particular condition. So I'm not saying, but
That's not necessarily the case, though. That's not necessarily the case. You can have a case where, in my class, I can remember in my class, one person in particular, Neville Coleman.
Poor Neville.
No, Neville knows what I'm talking about, right? So you have Neville, right? Neville is more so of a practical person. So when it came to the practical aspect of things, myself included, run straight to Neville. Neville has the answers. When it comes to the theory of mathematics and breaking down stuff, people will run to me because I understand and that aspect of it. When it comes to engineering jargons, you have Godfrey Virgo. So it has to do with what I think the university does more so than high school. It has an environment which will guide and train those skills, which is it that which are needed when you go in the working world. When you go in the working world, it's a matter of a team effort. Everybody comes with their strong point, and you can put all of that together and you get a finished product.
But
You
silly,
know?
me can't-
But silly,
let me add to that. They feel silly. When we go to the doctor, they not send me go.
I want somebody else
I
to-
want somebody else. You know, they not send me to the one with the heart. I send me go to the one where go to deal with the brain. No,
Yes, but
I
you
want
specialize.
doctor-
Yes or no? If there's a certain problem with your heart, you have to go to the doctor that specializes in cardiovascular
no,
issues.
no, really,
No?
not really. Mm-mm.
Go to general first. General
You
recommend.
go
You go to the
recommend.
general practitioner, and the general practitioner will direct you. If you need a proctologist, you say, hey, go on over there. So that's
Alright.
somebody that specializes into that.
But here the thing though. So I go to my doctor the other day. Good. And he sent me to another doctor because he's a doctor specialized. But I am saying no, for generally speaking, most like for the brain, he deal with the brain. You understand? So
Right.
he say, okay, you deal with this, somebody deal with the brain. But for the most part, he should be able to prescribe a prescription for probably 90% of my body makeup.
No,
or it-
no,
probably
because
90
him,
probably
no,
listen,
because
agree
he
with that.
specializes in that. No,
I agree with that.
no. So, hold on, right? Hold on.
You talk like say I expect a teacher if he can
No,
teach every subject.
hold on. I will ask a question. So this is the thing, guys. Right? When you look at the internet and what the internet is, right, and how we have been gathering information over the years, is vastly different from how it was back then, pre-internet age, right? Now, me personally, and I want to agree with Leon and talk about hidden curriculum, which is the same thing Ryan just spoke about, in terms of some things that the university teacher that is not being taught in the class. Because watch this, most of what I do and has ever done in my life, I didn't learn it at school. You know, right? I learned it on my own, right? And because I'm in an information age where I can just get the information I need. And just like how, because remember, at a university, a lecturer only lectures and not teach like a high school. So you just tell her A plus B equals C. We could have gotten that information, A plus B equals C, elsewhere from a book that is the same book as a lecturer read, or anywhere. You can get it just like a lecturer. But I will tell you that not everybody disciplined like that.
Exactly.
that's true,
That's what
that's
it comes
true.
down to.
Yeah,
Discipline.
discipline. Yeah.
Discipline, right? Because at the end of the day, right, what I learned at school, I don't use now. But I learned some things at university. When I think about it, and when I look at the topic and I think about it, personally, I would not have been the same Rory if I had not gone through university, right? I would have been different because university taught me how to be disciplined, taught me to think outside of the box, how to be a problem solver, right? And so these are things that I didn't get it in the classroom. You get it just by being at the university, and you have to be an overachiever at certain things. But if you don't have university, right, then not saying I can't do it on your own. I'm just saying there are certain things that you won't get that you will get at university, right? So
Listen.
that's the only.
What may I have to say? Like, may I use myself as an example? So I'm a computer science teacher, and I'm head of department. So me support the department of computer science in my school and also business. Now, I never studied computer science anywhere, like certification, and I never studied business anywhere. And at the same time, I'm running a business as well. Now, all of that information, when we gather to do all of these things, I happen to teach myself through online courses, whether I buy it or just YouTube or Google search, and recently ChatGPT.
But that is higher education, though.
So yes, so that is higher education. But
Correct.
what university did for me was give me the confidence to take on anything. Give me the confidence to talk to people. So as I mentioned, the hidden curriculum. Some people go to university go study to drive a boat or something. I don't know about maritime or so, but or defense or whatever. But those are specific things where you might need to know based on the current situation. But you have some job areas where things change. So whatever you study, it might not apply to you. But did you learn how to learn so that you can continue to progress and continue to
And
grow.
that is the problem.
So that,
They're not
so that
learning
is
how
that
to
is
learn.
what I think.
So hold on, you needed tertiary education to learn how to learn. What happened to high school and all of stuff?
No, high school. All right. So a teacher stands in front of the class and dictate notes to you, and you take down those notes and you
Yes.
regurgitate the said notes that were dictated to you. I
go to
think
the
more
exam.
so in a university environment, as what Rory stated before. You have a lecturer in front of you, and he says some stuff to you, and the onus is on you to now go and research what is it that he has said and profoundly find information to back up whether or not what he stated just now, if it's so or if it's not. It's the questions that are being asked. I think so in high school, the questions are how and when. Why is something else we learn further, and it takes a long time for us to develop that why. Fundamentally, you have to have certain traits, certain character, and that's the reason why they have exam at the end of high school to see it. To be honest, it is fair in some aspects, and in others it's not. But it's just to see where your learning curve is at, and if you're willingly able to take on the next venture in life, because you can throw everybody in it, but not everybody will benefit from it. Some people learn in a different area. I saw somebody said certification. Some people can only specialize in this. They have the aptitude for this alone, and don't kill a person because they only have this. This is what they have, and they can grow this to a whole industry for themselves. Like, for example, pipe. You have people that specialize in lock nuts. Just a locking nut. Now, what is a locking nut? It is of utmost importance, because if one nut come free on your car, you run off a road and you're dead. Right? It's the same thing in building bridges, in roads, in superstructures. You need locking mechanism. So you have some people that can only specialize in a small area. However, you have others that, given the opportunity to develop those talents, they'll grow enough. So they are the ones that construct and can employ locking nuts, can employ bolts, can employ this, can employ that, and several other aspects to come together to make a building what it needs to be.
All right, hold on that, silly. Ryan, I want you to play a video you have, and let us discuss this video, right?
Before you play the video, Veronica said, like, people learn on their own. Yeah, maybe we are like that. So there are persons who need tutoring. So maybe university important for those people then, because
which is why I say it depends.
Yeah, if you have different groups of people who now go sit down independently and learn for themselves, then what is the next step? Then I'm go watch YouTube. Then I'm go do a research and gather information and go practice. So then you might need that structure with deadlines, with exams, with the whole scenario.
Why would we need that? That's my thing, the whole structure of assignments and deadlines. That is my problem with tertiary education. Yeah, why not let tertiary education be us actually being in the field? That's my thing, instead of having, if you're going to do this thing where we have where you're going to write down information or whatever, or write down information, let it be written.
Give an example.
You being in the field. So, like, for example, when I watch Judge Judy, then, for example, Judge Judy has she has a real life case in front of her with two people, and behind her, behind them, they are not people actually. They're not jurors, or they're not people from the public. They're lawyers, and they're actually witnessing how to actually deal with a case. You understand? So I am saying to us, let tertiary education be something like that. Let the people go in the field. Let them pay the money for the resources that they need to use in the field, because the same money they might use to go to school, same money when they might use to pay.
Put in a high debt.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah, but
they put in a high debt, man. Because you have to get student loan and all.
I have to do that. Yeah,
and see Mark all over silly face. Him there, I wonder how am I gonna finish pay off for this.
And actually, I have no debt. I have absolutely no debt whatsoever. For me, it was a little bit different, so I paid for university while I was attending it.
But you guys know that other than healthcare, though, in the US, though, that there is a rise in about 200% for the past 20 years. 200% of the fees that were back then have risen 200%.
Yes.
Did you guys know that?
Yes.
And that's our 145% above the inflation rate. That is why we have so many, our 600% of Americans know, 600%, I think they're saying, it has increased the debt rate from 4 to 600% with the number of students that are in debt and can't pay it off.
Because of student loan.
1.4 trillion in America at the moment. Students are in debt.
Yes.
A whole amount of that, you know.
But
Play the video here though.
Yeah, play the video.
Play. This,
But
I don't know how many of you listen to this guy here, but sometimes he's very,
Not really listen to him.
controversial.
This is not necessarily
individual.
our views.
Not our views,
But we
folks.
just saw that little clip and think that little bit was interesting for this particular show. So we're not responsible for this guy or anything he said.
All right, let's go.
Thank you so much for the disclaimer.
Because the current education system is read, read, read. It's not do, do, do. It's read, read, read. And that's why most people who come out of school can't do shit. That's why college university is a complete waste of time. I did not go to university. The most successful people I know did not go to university. I do not have 4 years to dedicate to sitting there reading books of outdated knowledge when all the latest information in the world's on my internet Google browser for free anyway, and listen to some dork who's never made any money in his life tell me how to live my life. It's complete garbage. If you meet anyone who's successful near any field, most of them didn't go university. Now, I understand there's some professions where you need to go university to become a doctor, blah, blah, blah. I understand that. My point is, in general, is that the whole education system is not based on doing things, it's based on reading things. And this is why, if you want information on how to get something done, you need to speak to somebody who can do stuff. So if I'm going to learn piano, I want to learn piano from somebody who plays piano, not somebody who's read how to play piano. Because the current
That's it.
All right. So I want to say something about that, right? I agree with him somewhat, because I play the piano, and I'm going to use that same example. I learned to play the piano by
Doing it.
just doing it. But right, I got information from CDs and internet and everywhere, and just jump on the piano and say, listen, I'm going to play. Start from Me Ride a Little Lamb to I'm okay now, right? But the reality is this: I am far from being really, really, really good. There is a barrier that I am facing, and I think to unlock that, I have to get to some serious theory, right? I have to get into the theory of music and where music comes from, literally, to make certain. Yeah, but hold on. And the best musicians, right? No matter, just like what he said, the best musicians, they actually had to get into the theory and had to learn, go to music school and go through the highest level. So yes, you have people who do, and they can tell you, but you have to have some form of read. You need to read. And the read is what will advance us in technology. The read is what will create things like ChatGPT and so forth, right? When you're going to unlock the next level, you have to read and read.
Necessarily.
Can I
Not
add that, Rory?
necessarily.
Can I add that, Rory? Can I add something here? I do agree with some reading, but I believe that universities would say
I love
probably
reading.
95% or 98% of it is reading, and the doing is, as we say, is what we're going to actually go there and to earn our living or to get into the career field. We're going to have to do it. So I'm saying to us that, and for the viewers, that if universities are going to operate in this era that we're in now, if we're going to operate in this time, we need to get people to be doing more than just sitting in classroom. A lot more than that.
Reading.
And can I read to you the 10 top careers now today that
hear them
people
now.
are going into the 10 top careers? All right.
Let me
So
hear
the
them.
first one is under sustainability, where we have communications and public service. Yeah. But the second one is robotics. People are going into robotics more often than anything else. Healthcare. We know healthcare now go nowhere. Yeah. The fourth one is business analytics.
Right,
The
right.
fifth
So
one.
that's on the rise.
Biomedical engineering.
Love that one
Biometrics.
there.
Yeah, this is the one that me love now. Forensic science. Love that. I always watch them investigate them show them where they investigate something. Love forensic science.
As a matter of fact, Ryan tell me earlier, say, if he saying can become an investigator because he watch a lot of those movies.
And the movies we watch, and the movies don't tell
Serious,
me
man.
watch.
It's
Seriously,
serious.
me watch the real life investigation where they might investigate cases where actually are happening in America and over the world. Computer gaming design. A lot of our kids now we find them are go into that. Yeah, computer gaming design and even
What number is that?
Adults, yeah.
What number is that?
Number eight, computer gaming design. So if anybody have them children here, they say them interested in going into that, don't fight them down. Let them go into it and get a
I would want to stop them at this time, you know.
Well,
May I
I would
stop
want to
them?
stop them at this. I
Never
would want to
stop
stop them
them.
on that game design because listen, that field is gonna change by next year.
Yeah.
But hold on, Ryan. I want hit with that question. Finish the last two and meet with that question.
All right.
Finish the last
Petroleum
two.
engineering, and the last one is cyber security, which is a big one. That
Cybersecurity important.
Cybersecurity,
Ryan,
yeah.
So let me ask that question, Ryan. If your son come to you now and say, Daddy, me no want to go no university. See him?
At what age? When am I gonna tell me that?
Right now, tell that. Right now, he said, Daddy, as soon as I finish high school, I don't want to go any further. Because right now, I don't think it make any sense. What would you tell him?
All right. So at this age, when I feel I'm at the age to make that decision, yeah, I'm gonna say, listen, stay in school, and then after you finish school, you start thinking about making that decision. But if you tell me that, no, say, yeah, I'll be supportive with that now. But at the moment, stay in school, get your education, and when you leave high school, you can start thinking about what you really want to do. But when
I would want to know why then. All right.
Yeah,
if
you don't want to know
say
why,
that to
yeah.
me, I would want to know why. What so
You're
what would
controlling
you
to my
do
youth.
next?
You never ask him and say, what make you come up with that information there?
You
me?
just lock him down in that school.
No,
lock him down and say,
hold on. So, hold on. So, are you telling me to stop him from going to school now? No, I'm not going to stop him from going
No,
to
we
school.
never say stop him.
No, we
No,
don't
but
say
never.
stop him.
You're not.
I
you're not
understand.
serious,
Somebody
man.
says stay in school. Somebody says stay in school, focus, and then after a while, if you still love that thing, maybe actually assist you in the process, the process.
So if you come after high school and say it, you're all right with it after high
Yeah,
school.
man, make sure
If
you show me a plan. Let me see how you do your plan for do it and how you sustain yourself. Yeah.
Him tell us, listen, Daddy, here what going on. Me not no plan. Him just passionate about YouTube, and he want to become a
until
vlogger. He want to become a vlogger.
Yeah,
YouTube
until you have a
vlogger.
plan, you're going to tertiary education.
That's a plan.
Hold on.
No,
So
you
the
said
plan
have
is
a
a
plan, you just-
tertiary, is a YouTube vlogger. No. You have to go be more specific. You can't just tell me say
Yeah,
you
make
want to
him
be
do
a
it.
YouTube
Yeah, make
vlogger.
him do it.
Make him do it. Well, I want to
Yeah,
know.
but
You
yeah,
have
but
to
I
tell
said,
me
yeah, make him do
how he
it.
plan to do it. What is he going to do? What kind of vlogging is he going to do? Who is he targeting? But I ask him questions where make him
All
mind
right.
start think say, oh wait, but me need for either do more research into this field if I'm really going to do it.
But what
Do
if
I
you don't
need to
need
go
to-
to school to learn? And then he's gonna think, do I need to go to school to learn this or learn that? And so me
So here's the
pick
bigger
on him brain. So
question
make
then.
him make
So,
the
so,
decision
so,
there, so.
go on, Rory.
But suppose him say, because here's the big question, and if you listen to the video, suppose him say, Daddy,
And you watch and
realize say all of these things you want me to become, they not make no money.
Yeah.
and him want to make money want to make Daddy, right?
Yeah, man.
So I vlog game, me see somebody do YouTube and I make how much money. And that's him want to do. Because him feel say him can get enough followers.
Give me honest opinion. The honest opinion, right? So you see, if he said that to me, and he said, all right, Daddy, I said, listen now, depending on his age, you know. So say if you're 16 or whatever, and he said that to me, Daddy. I said, all right, here we go. We go give you a year or two to see how you're gonna make your way into this thing, yeah? Otherwise, if it's not working out for you, then you're gonna have to go to school. You're gonna go get the tertiary education. But
So like
as
a
you said,
real foreign parent, you know, man.
no man. No, seriously, I'm gonna give my time.
Well, me-
See, but look on Ryan toys. Him a what? 10 now or whatever, and him
My
a
boy,
millionaire.
yeah, big
Yeah,
millionaire.
I'm
Take care of
big
mother and father.
millionaire, and I take care of mother and father out of the same YouTube there. So if him have something like that, me not go turn him down. I say, all right, let me see you do it. Go on.
No,
That
man,
was the parents who
Take a stab at it.
do that.
And then
still.
after
But I
a
don't
year,
say, him alone.
yeah, go on again.
I know him alone. Obviously, him parents back him.
parents,
But they're
father.
others,
When the parents
but
quit
they're
them
others.
full-time job.
But there
we are
are
talking
others
about we are talking about getting certification and getting and these type of jobs and stuff. When I was in Jamaica and I was working at the Spanish Town YMCA after leaving Teachers College, and when we look at my pay monthly, I may have a brother, not brother, but a friend, we sell bag juice. And when we start look at the amount of money the man make from selling bag juice, and me I look for me in the classroom I struggle. And when month end come, me can't pay my bills, and this brother make more money than me. Do you measure man's success by the certification him have?
But hold on, hold on.
him-
Selling back juice is an entrepreneur, my businessman.
Yes.
Yeah, you know.
So
Okay.
do you measure a man's success by the certification him have? Like university
Or the amount of money he make.
Or the amount of money he make and can provide for his family and live
Hey, yeah,
comfortably.
that's something. Yeah. See them people live for them something. You know, certificate. You understand?
So what that do? What that do?
That may I show you now. So some people now, yeah, they want to go into a particular field. Yeah.
So they want to be called doctor.
All right, good. I remember some time ago, you know, a person I was talking to somebody and I said, Mister, and the person said, no, doctor. For me, doctor so and so. And I said, okay, the humility gone now. I can't call you Mister again. A doctor, me have said doctor. You understand? But some people live for those. And I just said, if you measure somebody based on that, I think we should not. But the world we live in, that's how we measure people.
But Ryan, no. Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on.
What?
We kind of
Yeah.
exclude silly out of this. You know, more interest of the questions to silly.
Silly
No,
can't-
no,
silly
no.
can't
What do
that.
you think so far about what we're saying? You're on mute.
Money versus certificate.
Money.
Hold on, them there.
You're the
On
mute,
mute, on
silly.
mute.
Man, I behave silly again, man.
Yeah, man. No, man, I was trying to check my headset. The thing is, it's dead. All right. So when you say money, does money equate to betterment of society? If money equates to betterment of society, then just sell your bag juice then, and you see how that works out. All right. What I mean by that, I mean by ingenuity. For example, how is it that we are surviving right now? You have AC current at home, right?
Yeah,
Who you think?
somebody got university and bill it.
Who you think made that? You think the bag juice man that the bag juice man need it to make his industry functional, right? So he need it for cool him industry, he need it for pocket, he need it for plastic. The bag juice man never create plastic. If somebody never create that, the bag juice man wouldn't have plastic. So he would have to selling a coconut brush, or he would have to try find something else, selling a tin or something like that.
But that's an engineering bond. Maybe you have the problem, I want to solve it, and then you might not go to university.
Exactly, that's where engineering is born. Where you have a problem, like Rory and his company, right? He spoke on the
Profile.
Ian Boyne, right? What's that thing called again? Archibald. My apologies, Archibald. What's it called again? Profile. Right. All right. He spoke on profile with Archibald, and there was a need because he had a dream. Him and Shanali, they had a problem, and they were like, hey, how can we come up with a solution to this problem? Now, with discipline, with self-discipline, which self-discipline which he had, he just stated that maybe he would not have that self-discipline if he had not gone to university. Right? So he would not have that drive. Plus, he wouldn't probably know where the toolings are, plus the support system. You realize he did not say he made everything on his own. He had a support system. So he had to network. So he had to know those people, to network with those people. That's something that university offers. It's not just that you go there and you read and regurgitate. It's somewhere where you can have others, where at the end of the day, right, you meet great people and you can utilize those skills after the fact. And a lot of my friends are from university. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
And that's how a lot of those things came about.
So silly, let me ask a question.
Yes.
So you do realize that most persons go to school, and when they go to school, it's not about passion, but it's how we can come out and make money, correct?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So a lot of persons, if you do a poll and you poll the university students, you're gonna ask them, what do you want after? Because the biggest problem, you know, is that they are graduating and they not make no money. That's the problem, you know. Right? And so they are saying, hey, me no see sense me I go to university, and when me done, me not make money, which is what we really want. Because I have 10 based on what the Bible says, on average to live. And so to live my 10 comfortably, me need money. Right? And so what they're saying is that right now, I need to find a way to can get money so that I can take care of my family and somewhat be a bit happier, seeing that most people think that a lot poverty bring forth
Money make
sadness,
people
which is
happy.
not technically true, but a lot of people believe that, right? But they don't want to be poverty stricken. So when you
Money
look
make
at
me
it
happy.
now,
Yeah,
money make you happy, Leon.
I must.
Wait,
Hold on.
Alright, go on.
Hold on. So let me ask a question now. Given that most people go to school, right? Wanting one thing, most people, is money. Do you think it makes sense, right?
That the
for
cost
them-
of school
the cost
is
of
so
school,
high
yeah.
just to learn what?
And some of them,
yeah.
some of them even get up to retirement and never make back the money.
and never
for them
met
spend.
about the money for them spend.
Is
You
it
had your head
true?
on
Is
your
it
body,
truly worth
silly.
it?
You never
Alright.
silly while you're going through uni. So therefore,
Can you
make
share how you
you
do it?
bought
Can you
pay.
share how you do it?
Hold
Yeah,
on,
that's how you
do it.
sorry. Before we answer that, let me just add one more thing before you answer.
Yeah.
I'm going to use a personal thing. I went through different sphere in my life. I go from teaching to the financial sector to managerial position and all of that until I know I'm an entrepreneur. And I tell you, all of them before, all of them nice ones with the academic, could do nothing for me financially, see? Except live from hand to mouth. Cool? And so, the best decision I've ever made, one of the best decisions I've ever made, best decision I've ever made was to give my life to Christ. But the second best decision was to marry my wife and thing. And the third best decision is to quit my 9 to 5. so when how can I tell me how I can motivate somebody now to go through the tertiary system when me really not the biggest advocate for it? Tell me how I can motivate somebody.
But before you answer that,
No, make it.
you ready to answer silly? You ready to answer that? I'm just give one.
All right.
piece
So
of what Rory said. Go on.
there,
Go on, man. Go on.
there's two ways to it really. One, you can look at your drive. Everybody has a family and you want to provide to your family, or if you don't have one, you want to have a family, and in doing so you want to be able to provide for said family. So you need compensation for, and that's where a lot of it comes down. Proper compensation is needed, right? If proper compensation is not given, then what is going to happen at the end of the day is that people are going to stop going to university. And there's going to be a domino effect. When you stop going to university, right, you will have lesser high output personnels which are able to develop other areas that are needed. Things that we haven't even thought about today. Like
New technology.
10 years ago, nobody thought about genetic mapping. Nobody thought about CRISPR. Nobody thought about protein delivery. So instead of getting a little virus and put a smaller dosage of the virus inside their bloodstream, now we have the protein. We know the protein that the virus makes, so we can put that directly into the bloodstream, right? And as such, we don't know yet all the side effects from it. However, we are learning, and that's just how it is. We do stuff each part in each stage in society. We do introduce new stuff. The first vaccine that was made, nobody knew what was going to happen, but we do it nonetheless because it's the betterment for society in the long run. Now, when we have a short-sighted view on things, right? That's the second part, and we don't make the sacrifice for the betterment for our children, not ourselves, but for our children or the next generation, then that's where the shortcoming will come about. So when we had how many years of stagnation by biblical score, six millenniums we have, and we were barely going anywhere. Over the past 200 years, we have gone from wheels with motor, from horse carriage to wheels with motor. Right? Well, we got to gunpowder, right? Even as bad as it was, it acts as a deterrent, so we can better ourselves. You know, we can protect ourselves. It was for hunting and so forth. And then we go into motorized vehicle. We go into electricity. We go into commuting, air travel, commerce, shipping, and that's because of a formality in education. Before said formality in education, when it was a niche thing. Like when the Greeks used to have their little niche thing, right? And you have Pythagoras, and you have Archimedes, and all those people, they were in niche. And being niche means just small pockets. And when you have things in small pockets, you tend not to get and outreach and the smartest people out there to develop them. Because that's what university is all about, truly. When you think about, especially when you think about a PhD student, right? You're speaking about getting that 1 in a million student, that 1 in a million. And getting that 1 in a million means that you have to increase the number of input you have so that you can get that 1 in a million. If you only have 10 and you only have 10 people going to university, you won't get that 1 in a million to train them. You won't get that 1 in a million to develop that skill.
So silly. So what about a man like Elon Musk then, which then probably says a 1 in a million?
Elon Musk is because of university. Don't get it wrong. He may not have completed it, but his skill set was to learn and nurture. Not a lot of people have those skill set. His skill set was to learn and nurture.
All right. So what about the
Bill Gates?
No, hold on. Make us go back into history. What about the man who brought forth
Benjamin Franklin.
automobile?
Benjamin Franklin.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So for Benjamin Franklin, you have people that will utilize skills of other people. However, again, dropout, but networking. So he knew other people that had certain skill set that he needed to advance his ideas. Don't get me wrong. Elon Musk knows what he's doing, but at the end of the day, he needs certain people with certain skill set to advance his building.
Can I say that? Let me say something.
It's true. That is true.
You see. All right, university. Let me go back to when I went to college. I use myself as an example. I'm not have to talk to nobody, no Bill Gates or nobody. Myself, I went to college and I studied for 3 years to become a teacher. Cool. After my 3 years, and I was my first year of teaching, I was given to teach. I was asked to teach math. Now, some of you hear me talk about math. I was never trained to teach math. I actually learned to teach math. I could have done a little bit of math, but not to teach it. And for the past, almost 15 to 20 years, I've been teaching math at the high school level. And I learned this on all by myself. After this stuff, even the other day I was teaching a math and in the States here, and I've never done that math. And I just went online and just learned how to do it. And I said, okay, this is how we do it. I'm gonna just teach it. You understand? So all I'm saying is that some of these,
but these students don't have the skill that you have to just learn on their own. So you have to teach them.
But look at this now, Rory. When I started teaching, how old was I? I was very young, and when I went and teach myself. You understand? So I'm just saying this to say that people at a young age can teach themselves how to do things so that they can be a force to reckon with in society and the work world. Sometimes as I said before, and I'll go back to what I said initially, the universities it's a scam.
Money making.
Scam.
It's a scam.
It's a scam. I understand.
I understand
what
I think Silly convinced me.
I understand what Silly said.
University important.
I understand what
it is important.
I understand. I did not say
hold on. It is important.
What you are doing there,
because great minds come together, and that is how new ideas come about. Makes sense.
So this is what Silly's saying.
I don't believe in the sacrifice of paying millions of dollars.
That part, I'm against that part. the money aspect of it, and how much it is that they charge, and where it is at. It has become a business. Initially, university, in my view, it was a place where you get great minds and you develop them into greater minds. Right? It's somewhere you formalize things. Everybody can learn on their own. However, having a formula to something makes it even better and greater. When you formalize something, you have a way of going about. You have a procedure of going about. And yes, it's all good to have outliers, but in the long run, having a formality to something is always key for greater development.
So Silly, are you against what I said
the long-term effect
about the fact that while you're at university, it is what's happening there for me? And as I said before, the reading and the role play, writing and the essay, whatever. Are you saying that should stay, or we should get more into the do process where the people are doing more instead of just doing reading and writing essays and research?
All right. So Your point right there, and it's a beautiful take. And I before now I thought about it, and I even wrote something to Rory. And I thought even more so when you guys were talking just now. And let me say this: we are in a world now where education has changed like that. A month now. Since the introduction of ChatGPT, university in Washington, a whole law faculty, everybody get aid because they all cheated using ChatGPT.
It's not
And
cheating. They use a tool to
persons
enhance
now
their
are
productivity.
speaking
Why you call
about.
it cheated?
No,
cheating, it's
because
just using the
for
tool to-
them the idea did not come from them, so they call that cheating.
Correct.
Right? And now you have professors saying, oh, should we allow students in our class with laptops? And when we ask a question, and genuinely, initially when we ask a question, we ask those questions for them to think on their own. But now we have something else which is thinking for them, so they no longer need to think. And so in due process, which universities needed just a place for thought, for thinking, is this something, a tool that is needed there? And my take on it is yes. Not because you have a convenience means that something needs to be stopped. Initially, we never had calculation.
Use it. Exactly.
We never had calculators. We used to run those calculations, and we had to remember all those they call them cheat sheets. Right, and you have to remember the logbook, and you have to no longer we need to do that. You plug that into a calculator and you get the end result. So
But
it is.
hold on. Let me stop it right there, sir. So regarding the same calculator, stick a pin there, sir. The calculator, which I think for foundational stuff, is a cheat thing.
Yes, it is.
Because if you don't know 7 times 6, me no have no conversation with you. See?
Exactly.
Right. So when I was in school, you have to know the timetable, understand concept of 7 times 6. See? And what's 7 times 6? What is the concept behind 7 times 6? Right? And then now you use a calculator as an aid to help you. Well, as an aid to when you can't bother to run through it again. You just want to plug it in quickly and get it in a 0.001 seconds. Right? But how them use these things is not as an aid, but actually to do the thing, right? So that is the problem we have, where they are using these technology, but because they don't have the foundation, they can't build on them. Right?
No, it's convenience.
So
It's
what we're saying then-
convenience. At
what we're saying
times,
then-
you reach
hold
a
on.
particular point in which you no longer need this. You don't need this anymore. It's like shopping. Why do I need to go to the supermarket to shop when me can type it in on my laptop and somebody show up there? And I can use that time to do something which is much better. It's just the same like navigation. Initially, we used to use stars, and I forgot what we used to use. When there's this scribe, like a little telescope, like, and you look where the star is at and you map that off. We no longer need that. We have GPS. So I don't need to learn that anymore. Yes, it is bad in the sense that if that system goes down, that I have to learn from scratch again. However, that information is there. I can learn that information at any given time. So it's the same thing with ChatGPT. And the same thing with your calculator.
GPT.
GPT. Chat GTP, right?
GPT.
GPT, man.
GPT, right?
Come on, Silly.
Just one of many chatbots, right? But it reaches a point now where we as a society, especially on a university level, right? We now have to change this 100, 200 years of teaching stuff. Now, it's on us now to overlay it with something else. So yes, have a redundancy, right? You can teach things the way they are, but you need to introduce the technology in it and see how much we grow since then. It's like when our parents utilizing a smartphone, and you give that same smartphone to your 5-year-old, and your 5-year-old make your parent look like them don't know what they do. Yes or no?
True.
That is just how technology will be bred. So your kids will be able to.
Education too.
and
How people are
education.
educated. Right.
Exactly.
Look,
So when
see,
they see those things, they'll be
when
better
it
at
came
it.
out the first time, when it came out, and
What is
over the years, I'm
it?
teaching like I'm
What
teaching
is
like
it?
GPT,
What is
GPT,
it?
GPT. Some we
Oh,
teach
by
the
the way, people,
students to search the
GPT stand for generative pre-trained transformer, right?
feature and transformer.
A new thing.
Chat
So I
GTP,
GPT.
one of many.
All right, silly. All right.
Take
Yeah, so-
your time, Silly.
so
Don't
kids used to like
waste
create
time, man. Come.
computer programs, they create websites and stuff. So they had to go to Google to search. But before Google, then obviously you'd have to read books and get all of that information. So Google speed up the process. Now, when they introduced GPT in November, and I learned about it at the end of December, and then around January time, after investigating it and stuff, start introduce it to the kids because there's no system in place to stop us from using that at the moment. So I'm looking at it and be like, why do I need to send them to Google to find information, or they need to go and spend that time? Why not get the information readily, learn it, and use it back to create the stuff? And so it has speed up the whole process. And in the real world, really, in the real world, where the jobs are, you're not required to remember these things from memory and know them from your head like that to do anything. You can research and you can gather the information. So if you have the tool, then use the tool to your advantage to progress society and not hold it back by saying, oh, you need to go and learn how to calculate without the calculator. If you already have something in place, yes, you can always go back and learn it like what Silly said. But at this current state where we are, we don't necessarily need it. So what may I try to understand? Are we saying that we need universities to progress development and future technologies and advancement in
No,
society?
because I have another
And
question.
Or are we just saying that we don't really need it because people can go make money without university?
We need them.
That is the 2 points that come from it. That is the
All
2
right,
points.
So we need university because that's where minds come together. Yeah, I get that. But you see where you're talking about we need a university to introduce these new things and stuff. That's wrong. Because where would they go in order to learn these new things?
Information
The same
is out
place
there.
where information is out there.
Can
It's
learn it,
easily
yeah, too.
accessible. And therefore, why can't we do the same thing that they're doing
I think
in
Leon,
order to learn?
Fabian, I think it boils back down to discipline. That's
Discipline,
the key word.
exactly.
From
Yeah,
all
it
of
is
this,
discipline.
I'm just getting discipline. Is it? And if we all of us can go on internet and get all this information, but some people are not disciplined enough. So, like for example, let me use Rory for example, because I remember my brother, and I was very appalled by the fact that he was so interested in learning to play the piano. I mean, I say, yo, oh, the man just want to learn this thing, so and it takes
Music
so much
is life.
time. You know, it took so much time, and in night after night, the man open up. Man, remember when we got group, we said night after night, 12 o'clock, the man, it took 1 o'clock. The man was disciplined because he had a passion to learn how to play it. Not many have that. And so that is why probably that's the only reason I can see where university is going to come into play now, where you say your mommy and daddy go say, you go to university. And when you reach now, because may I use myself as an example. When you reach now, I say, oh my God, reality hit you now. I say, boy, I have to be disciplined, you know, and make sure I focus and do well and come out.
All right, I want to add to that now. Watch this now.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're saying that it boils down to discipline, guys.
Yeah.
Right? Then if we remove school, if that means you're saying a lot of persons wouldn't be disciplined enough to further their education, right?
Yeah.
So that's the case. Then what that is saying to me is that if we force education upon them and they become whatever they want to become in society, they won't be disciplined enough to further their education in that field. For example, let me give an example. You have a mechanic. A mechanic, he learned how to deal with some 1996 car and some 1997 car up to about 2010 car. You look at that 2020 BMW. He didn't have the discipline because he never have the discipline to learn about cars when somebody just shove it down his throat. He not have the discipline for self-learn. Because remember a lot of what is happening out there now. People have to self-learn to basically adapt and increase the knowledge about things to come. So you become a doctor. You tell the doctor, say, hey doc, me feel one pain on my foot. Him say, boy, first me I hear about the pain, because guess what? me never hear about me go to school and me never hear about the pain this or yet. So guess what? I go prescribe you why headache pill, is it? Hope it works.
But Rory,
that's all I know.
That's true.
So,
hey Rory,
so
it's about discipline.
No, hold on, man.
But Rory, you see, I'm a mechanic, you know, me carry again the other day, you know. And I said to him, say, he might tell me there's something wrong with the engine. And I said to him, say, boy, my car more up to date, probably for a long time, I'm a mechanic, you know. And I see man take out in tablet And the man connect up on something. I say, yo, God know the man. The man say, I have to invest. I say, this man a discipline.
You have to invest,
The man-
exactly.
Yeah, man. He invest
Exactly.
in money and buy one tablet, one well advanced something for ensure, and he go learn how to use it so that he can actually know what going on with the newer cars them. You understand?
Exactly,
No,
exactly.
me carry give him anytime because I guess I realize that the man is disciplined enough in
Because he wants to learn more.
You want to learn
There's
more.
but
always
Rory,
more information out there.
So Rory, if you're talking about discipline, right? Think about it as a kickstart, right? So university is uphill where it pushes you downhill. So it kickstart you. So therefore, after you finish university, you'll still be moving. Some people run off the road and stop. Yes, like your mechanic where they decide say him not gonna learn nothing new about newer cars, and then you have the others who stay on the same track and keep rolling.
So that's a question. So
continue.
you don't think that's a problem then? You don't think says university are trick with them? Because guess what? If you really want the best mechanic or the best doctor, you will find that will be the person who is most passionate about it, that will learn about it on their own, right? And push for basically be the best version of themselves or the best version within their career.
And that is the reason
that
why
is
you
what I'm
have
saying.
exams.
That's what
That's
the
why you have
university-
exams to see who you skim off from high school and you see who it is that are capable to take on university. That's the reason why you have that, you know. That's
But
the
then-
only reason why you have that. So
But-
you
but
skim off the
too
top
many
and you see the
persons-
best ones.
But too many
No,
persons,
sorry, silly. Sorry.
Too many
No,
persons
me
that go
not
to
believe in that.
university and then come out
And
and
come
they're
out
not
and
proficient
turn
in
rubbish.
any at all.
Exactly.
Yes, but
Yeah, but-
that's the thing. You're just getting a bigger pool, so you're able to select more people. Let me ask you this:
No, but
do we have a problem with university, or do we have a problem with paying for it? If university was something that we weren't indebted to,
Was free then.
was free. Well,
No.
not free in our life,
Not free.
but we didn't have to pay the amount that we're going to pay, and we wouldn't have been indebted the way we have been indebted. Would we be
No.
having this conversation?
Me not have a problem with
Yes.
all this. No, hold on.
Yes.
I
Hold
don't
on.
have a-
I would
hold
still
on,
be
hold on.
having this conversation.
Yeah, that got cheap,
Why? Why? Because at the end of university, a lot of these people, you learn all of these things, but you don't know how to apply it. You understand?
the-
And
the
that is
to-do
my
part, the
problem.
to-do, the
The
to-do.
to-do part.
I never
You're
know
talking
why.
about the why or
Look at the
whatever.
demand
It's not
first.
even just the money. Where's the demand? You end up studying this thing and you're like, but oh, you remember go through 5 years of school and then
I'm gonna
this
go to
don't-
finance. And nobody now employing me.
But that have to do with university.
And
That
then-
just have to do
hold
with
on,
people
hold on,
pushing you to
hold
go
on,
pay your
hold
money
on.
to
So
get
why-
education.
Silly.
Here
yes,
we
silly.
have it, silly.
I don't have a
You're
problem.
giving me a topic where don't make no sense in society. What kind of
Exactly,
situation
but
is that?
no, but we
Wait,
should hold those institutes to something higher. If it is all right, let's say a market should be a supply and demand, right? So if you need people for a particular field, then you have more so training in that field. If you don't need people for that field, why is it that you're spending money over there? So we should hold the universities at a higher standard, stating that they look for areas for development. So key areas, as I said, STEM areas for development, yes, you can have those running however you want to run those, right? But for the other areas, if you're saturated with teachers teaching economics, then you don't need to teach anybody else economics in that area. You have them learn something else. Social sciences. What is social sciences? You hear somebody speaking about philosophy. Tell me, where is it that I'm going to apply said philosophy?
All
Is
right.
it needed?
Hold on.
So-
I have 2 points. I have 2
silly.
points. Hold on.
So silly.
I have 2 points. Right.
All right, go
Listen. Right. So the first point is about.
Hold on. Before you continue, guys, please remember to like and subscribe and share. Yeah. Thank you for joining us.
And we are here next week, the same
And we're
time.
here next week at the same time. So please remember to join us and share. With
I
your friends
appreciate
and
it.
family.
Appreciating them. Big up.
Right.
Yeah.
Silly. So 2 things. One, it is not about the money. For me, it's not about the money in terms of how much university is costing us, right?
Yeah.
I would say it is more about how university is going about educating people.
Yes,
what
that
I
is
would
my
say,
thing
right?
Yes,
Right.
I'm for that.
Right. I think how they are being educated now needs to do away with. Come with something new so that we
New.
can ascertain
Catch up, no,
who
catch up
is
with what?
who is truly proficient in the area when them left university. Because too much doctors out there get 40% and I get a barely pass and I work and I tell me and I prescribe headache pill for when I'm a foot, right? That is my problem. That is one. Right?
Everything they give, what they give again, silly. What they give, everything they give up. Paracetamol, what they give. And nothing gonna paracetamol over here, so ibuprofen.
Ibuprofen, they give ibuprofen to everything, man. Ibuprofen, they get treatment.
Everything with ibuprofen, man. No, man, something all right. You know, doctor prescribed that. But go on.
When the talk, I made me forget my second point. The second point was more important than... Oh, yeah, second point. What? And the second point is not a point. Sorry. It's a question to everybody. So as you know, right? You may not know. I believe you guys know that sixth form is becoming... sixth form is now mandatory
In Jamaica.
high school in Jamaica, right? So the ministry actually passed a law that, okay, sixth form will now become mandatory. I think it was for 2020. Last year or the year
2023?
before. Last year. No, I think it's in effect. Well, the law was passed last year or the year before.
So
Anyway,
just to clarify, this means that the school now ends at year 13.
yes, the school now ends at year 13. So before, when people leave school at grade 11, they decide if they want to further the education and they go to 12th grade, which is sixth form. They are saying, no, it's mandatory that you have to now go to 12th grade and 13th grade.
Madness.
Right?
So
What
they
do you
leave
guys think
school at
about that?
19 now. They leave school at 19 now.
Or 18.
Thereabout, yeah.
I don't think that's madness. I think that's kind of help.
Why-
Hey, that's kind of good
maturity.
because none of them go community college, go spend $100,000, $200,000 to go
Waste
community college and waste their time. For what?
What-
When you can learn in high school.
Let me tell you why I'm saying mad.
That's
Why? So it's not optional. That is my thing. Why is not optional?
No, my only thing with that is that certain people, again, if more technically inclined. Now, if you go back and you keep them in the book business, then
That's
you
the one.
have to have a technical area for some people. So some people are able to learn electrical, electronics, a little bit more computer science on the programming side. So no, you have to create spaces for those people. You can't just keep them in high school and just run it through like that, you know?
So silly, are
I
you saying
think-
they're going to be more educated than we went up to fifth form? That's my thing, you know. When we were
No,
talking about-
I'm not
Again,
saying that.
No.
Yes,
So
I am
I'm
saying
not
that.
saying that.
that's
No.
That's Leon, what Leon is saying.
If you are engaged in a school, you must become more educated. So
No.
So what I am saying then.
Yeah,
so-
force it.
oh,
Yeah,
fifth
force
form.
it by them, Leon.
I don't
Yeah,
force
force
family.
that-
Suppose
that-
I want
that
to
is
go
more
to-
sheep.
Suppose I want to go UE or uni right as me finish fifth form. Why
No,
are you making it
no.
mandatory? What?
Hold
why
on,
is-
Go
Alright,
on.
on.
It depends on how you structure these six forms. You see, what I would do if you're making this mandatory is that if you're going into sixth form, use this time for the same where you go to and do practicals,
Preliminaries.
different preliminaries and those kind of stuff there where you learn and see, okay, I'm really interested in this field. So once I finally leave high school, I know what I'm going to do.
Exactly.
I'm gonna go
Hold
stuck
on.
in,
No,
and this is the
no.
top that-
That's the problem. That's the problem.
We can't
You
get
guys have everything
from
after high
grade 10.
school.
We can't
Why
get
can't
from
you
grade
grade
10
10 and grade 9?
We can't get from grade 9 and grade 10. Me no need to
When-
get that. Me get
No,
that
no,
from
no,
But
grade
when
no,
you're
no,
15,
no.
when you're 15, come on. When you're
Because
15,
you're
you
more
really
mature.
thought you knew
You're
what they
more
were going to do.
mature.
Yes,
Listen
yes.
to- listen to what
No,
I'm saying.
Rory,
I want to
I'll
be an
say,
engineer.
hold on,
You
hold
know
on.
you have 12
I
year
don't
old
know what that
and
mean.
10 year old with a learn at university level now. You know that? Do you know that? You know that?
Yeah,
you're
but
talking
those-
about one in
yeah,
a
but
million,
they are
Ryan. You're not
outliers.
talking-
No,
But they are
exactly.
outliers.
Exactly.
No,
But
it's
they
what
are
you give.
outliers, yes or no?
Hold on. No, let me tell you what happened now. It's the
Yeah.
information that we give to our kids that makes
True.
them get to where they want to get to. If you have your 5-year-old, and me have a 5-year-old, and you give him certain things at 5, and me I give him grade 10 or grade 8 stuff or grade 5, you know, my
That
son
don't make
never
sense
give-
because
me I give, well, I know, man.
that,
Finish,
genetics
You can't tell me
will
what to
allow
do,
certain
man.
people to excel even from 5. So and everybody can manage it at that level.
Well,
So
I know, man.
you
But
have
it-
some,
but
as I
it-
say,
it-
some
but as I said
outlier
before,
allowed them
but
to
you
learn
don't
from
know.
that stage.
You don't know until you give them, Leon. As I'm saying to you, you don't know. So if you have grade 10 and grade 9 students, I say, listen, now, we go try an experiment with these grade 9 and grade 10 students. What same thing would I give them a 6th form or let me try it with these ones and see.
So aren't we
let
currently
them
doing
use
that
them
now?
But haven't we
use
done
them-
that? We have been doing that for the past
I-
100 years, you know.
Well, I know. I am saying to you, though. and are you saying it's failing?
Me
Are
just
you saying
ban
it's
them
failing?
time there.
Are you saying it's
Well,
failing?
I'm not saying it has failed, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not saying where it has been at its most optimum level and it cannot be better.
So you don't think there's an agenda behind this, silly? There's no. Just think about it.
No, they
No
want,
agenda.
they
No
want
agenda.
they
So
want a
is
more
it-
educated society. So guess what? They are shoving it down to say, listen.
All right.
It's
The
not
only
only
thing
says
I
shoving it
can
down
say,
on Rory.
no,
Hold on,
but
hold
the
on.
only thing I can say,
Shoving it.
no, but the
shove it still.
Yeah,
only
well,
thing
yeah.
I can
Because
say,
him not think how me I think how I would utilize it. That's
I
why.
remember you were silly.
Because them just shove it down.
all right, as Marva, I think it's Marva in the comments. She said, if you can't find a job, you need to create one, right? And
Yeah.
a 17, 16-year-old, right, or 17-year-old leaving high school right now, right? There are 18. There is no work for that person to do because people are call center, right? Because you have so much higher educated people with a bachelor's, people with a master's. They aren't able to start off at those low level or low entry job or non-skilled labor or low or non-skilled jobs, right? They aren't able to go into those fields anymore because you have so many people out there with all this level of education, which there's not an industry for them to partake in, right? So then they go over and they partake in those. So you now leave all those youngsters to what? To coming out of school and becoming, instead of part of a solution for the future, a part of the problem. Right? So all they're doing is putting a band-aid on the problem and seeing how further they can push it. So the end of the day, you'll have kids now leaving at 19 with a little bit more education and maybe a little bit more sense if they create the right programs. If they create programs that, hey,
What I'm
you
saying.
can train
Right.
these people to now go out there as entrepreneurs. We can start niche things and you can develop skills and you can
And
develop
get
this and that.
experience.
Then it's beautiful. But if
silly.
not, then it's a waste of time.
We're good, but that's the thing
true.
about
There
it.
we go.
I think these students that we're going to put in sixth form, they should be selected. Not like, for example, you have some students that are just really not academically.
And what you do with the rest?
And
What you do with the rest?
hold on. That may say to you now, you
Mhm.
have,
For the farm.
have a program in place now. If you say, all
What
right,
farm?
these students are not academically inclined. We give them a skill. You understand? So if sixth form,
That's what I
But
just said.
that's what I'm saying.
That's
If
exactly
if
what
you
I'm saying.
create that sixth form skill,
Hold on, but that may tell us that we get it at grade 9 and grade 10. So with the same skill.
No, sir.
Same skill.
No,
Hold on.
no.
Let me tell you. When me there Herbert Mars at technical
but
high
that
school,
is
me go.
you.
But may I tell you no, hold on, that they need to do. Instead of give them 6 form and I should shove it down and short. You say, listen, at grade 9 and grade 10, you build circuits and you give them a skill from that time. Plumbing, we do plumbing.
It's just the experiences,
all of them
Ryan.
sit
But
there. We
sixth
get all
form, I'm
them
going to take it
something
a lot deeper.
Huh? No, you're gonna go university if you want to go deeper. That may I tell you.
No,
No,
man,
but people
you're
cannot
not
afford
listening.
it. They
No,
cannot
can't
afford it, you know.
Alright, well,
So with
it's a
high school,
solution,
with
you know,
high
Ryan.
school, if it's a high school and you're going to make it mandatory, then
Exactly.
you can't force them to pay for it because it's mandatory. Henceforth,
Right.
the government will have to pay for that. So if the government is paying for it, then what we should do now, right, as the ones that are paying for it, well, you guys are the ones that are paying for it,
We are paying
is
for
that
it,
you
yeah.
should advocate so that they teach these people a skill in those areas or
Exactly.
further advance those little niche
I'm all for
areas.
that. But listen, listen to me.
And that is
I'm
where the
all for that.
experiences
I am
would come.
all for that, silly. But I am saying, why wait until they get to fifth form and sixth form? Can you not see it from grade 9?
No, because the level of maturity
Hold on, stop.
for a lot of them.
You can't tell me that me teach you much. I can tell you, listen, Fabian, I can
True,
see
right.
it
Now
within
give
a
it
student.
somebody, so.
Me can
Now
see
give
it
it
from
to
grade 9. Me can say the boy now go him academically inclined from grade 9 or grade 8. Me can see it. And me can say, you know what, let's
Right.
just put him in our skill era. From grade 9, we can
Nonsense.
get
All right,
it.
well, all right. Let me help you, Ryan. Let me help you, Ryan. Let me help you, Ryan.
Oh, okay. I get
Let me
that.
help you. So, Ryan, at the end of the day, see you guys, we agree with what you guys are saying. Sound beautiful. I think somebody from ministry need for the on. I hope somebody from ministry listen, right? The programs that you guys going to put in 12 and 13 grade needs to be very important, right?
Why me feel so they don't have no plan?
However, yeah. Oh, yes, yes, man. But anyways, but Ryan, I agree with you. The way how we are educating the children now is not good. Right?
Force them for 5 years.
Right.
Force them for 5 years.
A lot of things they're not doing. Even they say it all the time that they don't teach children about taxation and inflation and all them stuff in school.
Teach them
A lot of things they don't teach students. Students have to go to university to learn about inflation. You have to go to university to learn basic things about inflation? Nah. You have to go to university to learn what is stock, what is bond. Right?
Teach
Them
them
that
that
they
high
met out to some students, and them not some band. No, watch this. I spoke to my 2 little youth. Them not tell me about no genetics. I'm explaining what bond is. I'm explaining what
Genetics.
stock is. No.
No,
Cut that
when
out.
them are 5
Cut that
Go,
out.
go.
No. I
No,
explain
no,
to
no.
them.
You're right.
expose
what
them to
stock
it.
is.
Expose them.
I'm explaining to
Expose
them about Google stock and which stock makes sense for the long term and all of these things. See?
That different.
I explain to them. And no, not different, because here's why not different. Currently in high school, they don't teach the basics of life. Or what about basics of working world? So when them leave 11th grade,
change what we did say. Change what we did say.
No.
I understand what you say, but you change what we say.
No, I'm not
Because
changing.
when we talk about genetics, we never did that talk about say then can learn about life and a whole, like what you say.
No, I'm talking
What
about.
we are talking about,
No,
we are
you
talking
guys were
about some
saying
10-year-olds. 10-year-old at the university.
I am saying the
we're not talking
maturity
about
of the
that. We're not talking
mind,
about that.
Rory.
No,
Hold
maturity
on,
of the
Rory.
mind. No, stop that. Because some things they're going to teach in school more complicated than what we're going to teach them. Because simultaneous equations are more complicated than stock. Don't tell me that.
I no lie.
Right? Some of them things I'm going to teach in a geometry and so, and the angle and wait. They're more complicated than a simple
That's
bond.
that. Yeah, simple.
I'm telling you. So
Yeah.
not more complicated. It's what you teach the children, and them not teach the children. They might teach the children about trigonometry. See? And I'm not saying trigonometry is not good. Because when they trigonometrical stuff, I'm telling you, say harder than basic taxation and accounting stuff. See? But watch an idea. If you start showing the youth them,
Really?
if you tighten certain, no, if you're interested in a cars, you love cars, come and show you about, come teach you some stuff about cars.
Yeah.
You wait until we are youth of the
got
20
six farm.
to start to look at our hood.
So what you say then? Your
up?
secondary school more specialized.
Yes, I think
Secondary
so.
school more specialized. So like you have what we call them over here so now, theory people over here so become doctor and lawyers and whatever.
Right.
have
Over here,
those
so
schools.
you have different skills. So
But then in a
different
grade 10, they're
schools.
supposed to in an operating room.
Oh, hold on.
Watch
They
that
have-
class at work.
They
And
have
grade
high
10.
schools like that. They have high schools that are technical like that.
That talk about high school in Jamaica right now. I'm saying in
In the Jamaica. I
That
talk
grade
about
10, you're going to operate
But
in
here,
room. Go watch.
here what we are saying.
Not see that.
Pembroke
But
Hall,
if you say
Edith
that,
Dalton.
But
the-
if you
the
say that,
schools
Rory,
that where you now go
why
and
is it
say
only
they
a
pick them
selected
to?
schools? Why
All
selected
right.
schools? That is my thing.
All right
You
then.
understand? That is the problem. And we will
Exactly.
always have this discussion about universities.
Sixth form is a band-aid.
When-
to them.
Yeah.
If,
Go on, go on.
not properly executed, as you said, Rory, it will be a
It will
band-aid.
be a
It's a
band-aid,
band-aid
yeah.
because
Band-aid,
they
man.
are not currently educated the people and properly. So them things say if them strap on 2 more years,
Yeah.
then they're going to be better for society.
Definitely.
Foolishness.
All right.
Foolishness.
So silly, give me a plan. So in 3 minutes, give me a plan. What you think them would I do? Should I do from
3 minutes.
after
I'll wrap
primary,
up, yeah.
All right.
primary school?
From primary school,
After them finish primary school. what
after
you-
them finish primary school,
Yeah, yeah.
grade 7 to 11 it is right. That's all good. Those who want to go on to higher level of education, right? You want to go on to university, go on to sixth form, go straight into sixth form. For the ones now that they want to be more technical, the Arch vocational study would have been the perfect place if we remove those stigmas that are attached to heart. Then you
True.
could send those people over there and they could start off there. The ones that are not able to pay
A
for
joint
university, right? Then you have them over there so they can do the draftmanship, they can do the auto mechanic, they can do the electrical, they can start off with electronics and so forth. Build those technical skills.
them.
So expose them and then get them internship into those programs, right? In which they can develop those skills, right? Then if they want to, at the end of the day, you can have them tied to, like those companies can now pay for them to go on to university.
I think most of what you're saying is correct now, you know. But guess what? They're not executing it properly.
Yeah.
See?
Like the
So they
career
don't
day,
stop it,
like the careers day thing.
But university,
Careers day. Make them
companies
go
not
out
pay for
there.
nobody got university.
Look on careers day. You don't know about careers day. Everybody go careers day.
The hard courses are way better than what people think, which is true. It's a stigma.
It's a stigma that's attached to it.
That is true.
That is
That is
well
true.
said, Carl.
Look,
True, man.
That's what Silly just said.
Yeah,
We don't go like silly never say it a while ago.
He never say hard.
He did. He
Yes,
said
I did say it. I did say
My
hard.
bad. I missed that. My apology. My
The
apology.
problem is that, and they still said, you see, stigma is that if you go hard at dance, you're dance.
Yeah,
See?
actually,
Exactly.
It's not about your passion anymore. Because if you're truly passionate about mechanic work, you don't get that in a 7 to 11 the traditional way. You don't get it to 7 to 11. You have to know. You have to go hard. But anyways, guys, I have to rush the phone. But on can wrap it up.
We are wrapping up now.
We're wrapping up.
Sit down, man.
So,
Yes,
so
as
basically,
Natalie
what
says,
I think
perfect
for me,
plan,
from my 2 cents before we go, is that I think careers day, the way how we do career days need to change in schools. I think the students need to be exposed, as Silly said, a lot more to going. A student want to be a doctor, carry him out there in the field, make him see what go on. You understand? A boy want to be a mechanic, make him go out there and see exactly if we work on a car. And I
That
think
was career day one day.
No,
It
man.
has to be a-
Which is
I
why
said,
I
no,
said
please,
that
do
is
that,
what
yeah.
you should use.
Do it.
Which is
More
what I
than-
was saying to use a sixth
Yeah, a lot
form
more.
for, if so be the
But no,
case.
wait,
No,
so
before
wait,
sixth
so
form.
far.
Before sixth form.
Before I know
Before
before sixth form, but
Oh.
no, I'm talking with the structure of how it is. This is what
Give him
we
the
should be
Band-Aid.
using the sixth one. Give him the band-aid. Don't just
Yeah,
make
the
it a
law
Band-Aid where
done
you don't-
pass already. You
The law done
can't
pass.
reverse
So
right
therefore,
now, you know?
use it for
Ladies
this
and
purpose.
gentlemen,
For that purpose.
please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you very much for coming.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to see you next week. Silly, big up yourself.
Big up
We
yourself,
appreciate
Silly.
you being here.
Thank you, Silly.
Yeah. Bless
Maritime
everybody.
engineer. Big up
Peace.
yourself.
Yeah, man.
Go on, man. Go on,
Out.
make the Jamaica flag and a fly high. Yeah, me answer, brother. Big up yourself.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
All
man.
right.
Take care, man. Big up
Bless
yourself.
up everyone.